And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Consider the possibility that Saul, who later became known as Paul the Apostle, had a hidden identity and played a double agent role in the early church. It's intriguing to imagine a man who once persecuted Jesus' followers, now pretending to join them. We may have only scratched the surface of the true story behind Saul, Paul, and his intricate role in the birth of Christianity. Let's delve deeper and uncover the secrets of this enigmatic figure. First impressions. It is a well-known belief that Saul, who later on was known as Paul, was not a friend of Jesus even after his conversion. Before his journey to Damascus, he was persecuting Jesus and his followers. One would wonder how Saul, who is believed to be a tent maker, could have the authority to do so. However, it turns out that he held a high-ranking position and had direct access to those in command, including pretending to be a follower of Jesus as a double agent for the Roman government. It is crucial to consider that Saul had immense power and influence. This is evident by his direct audience with the chief priest mentioned in the Bible. Hence, he was not an ordinary person and had access to men in positions of power. All of these facts should be taken into account when thinking about Saul, Paul, and his role in the Church of Jesus. The Bible shows us, and he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And he said, Who art thou, Lord? Is this not the one who was wreaking havoc in Jerusalem on those who call upon his name, and had come here for this reason, that he could bring them tied up for the chief priests? On the road to Damascus, we're told Saul encountered Jesus in the form of blinding light and converted. Now, we must ask some questions though. Was Saul by himself on this road? No. The Bible mentions he had companions. Who were these companions? We need to know who these people are to investigate further what we're told about this event on the road to Damascus. But there is no mention of who they are anywhere in the Bible. That means we don't have witness testimony to confirm this took place. Saul's infiltration. Saul, someone with direct access to men of power who can bless off on his actions to arrest, confine, and even persecute a group of people out of nowhere, has a change of heart, epiphany, to follow, infiltrate the group which he terrorized. If you can't beat them, join them. But it's evident that Saul, Paul, was not really a follower of Jesus. For instance, the majority of Jewish men, based on what we know, would have had long beards and hair. But Saul was against this, for he preached. And does not nature itself teach you that a man, if he wears long hair, it is a dishonor to him? But a woman, if she wears long hair, it is her glory, because her hair is given for a covering. But if anyone is disposed to be contentious, we have no such custom, nor do the churches of God. This is Saul-Paul speaking, not Jesus. So it's apparent that he was entirely against men having long hair. The Saul-Paul's opposition to men having long hair appears to stem from their experience as a Roman who wore shorter hair was the norm. The topic of circumcision. It's important to note that Saul-Paul's opposition to circumcision may have been misguided, as Jesus himself would have been circumcised. It's unlikely that the writer, as a Roman citizen, understood the importance of circumcision in Jewish culture. However, the passage, "But if anyone is disposed to be contentious, we have no such custom, nor do the churches of God," makes it clear that the writer had no tolerance for contentious behavior. There was a time when Saul-Paul claimed that it's those who are circumcised that were causing problems more so than those who were not circumcised. Please take note, the Romans themselves did not traditionally practice circumcision as part of their cultural or religious beliefs. For there are many rebellious people, idle talkers, and deceivers, especially those of the circumcision, whom it is necessary to silence. Saul-Paul, a Roman through and through, causing division in the Church of Jesus. Important note, many people after years of research have come to the conclusion that it was Jesus the Galilean or Jesus the Revolutionary. He was a revolutionary leader who led his followers with ideas and beliefs diverse from the sitting ruling elite of that time. A revolutionary who was leading his followers into what would be known as the Jewish Revolt. There was a revolution in the 1st century known as the Jewish Revolt. Could that have taken place because of the biblical Jesus? Was Saul-Paul a double agent trying to prevent successful revolt from taking place by Jesus and his followers? Who was Saul-Paul really? It is stated in the Bible that Saul-Paul worked as a tent maker. However, it remains perplexing why an individual with such a profession would be involved in the persecution of Jesus and his followers. Moreover, it is worth noting that despite being imprisoned, Saul was able to speak directly with Porcius Festus, who served as a Roman procurator. It should be emphasized that Festus was not representing Saul, but his accusers who were attempting to convict him of a crime. Nevertheless, Saul convinced Festus to bring him before Caesar instead of Emperor Agrippa, the customary authority. As a Roman citizen, Saul possessed the right to appear before Caesar as Agrippa was not Roman. However, obtaining a case before Caesar was a challenging and uncommon process, particularly for an ordinary citizen. In the Roman legal system, cases were typically heard by local authorities such as governors or provincial officials. Appealing a case to Caesar was unusual and necessitated special circumstances. Hence, it is intriguing to ponder over how Saul was able to accomplish this feat. Saul Josephus? Should we be reading Josephus, Josephus, why persecutest thou me? We find similarities when we look at Saul-Paul and, interestingly enough, a man named Josephus Flavius. Josephus in his writings mentions Galilee and is also known for chasing after a man who was called Judas the Galilean. Josephus mentions military campaigns in Galilee and the Jewish revolt against Roman rule. He mentions various incidents and battles in Galilee, providing insights into the region's role in the more significant conflict. If Saul was persecuting Jesus and his followers, he had to have been in Galilee doing so. Jesus spent 30 years in Galilee, which was where most of his ministry took place. Jesus recruited many of his disciples, including Peter, James, John, and others from Galilee, according to the Bible. Could this Judas have actually been Jesus the Galilean? Now, Flavius Josephus was a Roman Jewish historian and military leader, but best known for writing the Jewish War. He was born in Jerusalem, then part of the Roman province of Judea, to a father of priestly descent and a mother who claimed royal ancestry. When we get to the crux of the matter, we find that Josephus initially fought against the Romans as a commander in the Jewish revolt, but was eventually captured by the Romans in 67 AD. After his capture, Josephus switched sides and became a Roman prisoner. He gained the favor of the Roman general Vespasian and his son Titus, who would later become emperor. Josephus supposedly offered his services, became a traitor, as an interpreter and advisor to the Romans during the siege of Jerusalem, and he later accompanied Titus during the capture of the city in 70 AD. Is there a connection? How could there be if the life of the biblical Jesus took place well before 60 to 70 AD? As we delve deeper, we'll explore the historical character and will reveal an unsettling matter concerning the timeline between 1 to 70 AD. Join us in our upcoming video as we unveil the shocking revelations about this enigmatic figure. Tell us what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.